Welcome to C.S. Lewis Wisdom. Have you ever looked at your life and wondered, why this family, Lord? Why this pain? Why was I placed in an environment filled with struggle, hurt, and confusion? Growing up in a toxic family can feel like living in an unending storm where the very people meant to nurture and protect you instead wound and exhaust you. It's heartbreaking, and for many it feels like an unbearable burden, one that threatens to break your spirit. But listen closely. Your story is far more extraordinary than you may realize. Being born into a toxic family is neither a punishment nor an accident. It's not a sign that God has abandoned you. Instead, it's part of a divine masterpiece, a plan so intricate, so purposeful, that only He can weave it into something beautiful. A toxic family may feel like fire, consuming everything in its path. But in God's hands, that fire is a forge, a place where you are not destroyed, but refined, strengthened, and prepared for something far greater. God's presence in your struggle. Isaiah 41:10 reminds us, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Even when life feels unbearable, even when the chaos of your past tries to strip away your hope, God is steady. His presence doesn't just guide you through the fire, it transforms you within it. C.S. Lewis once wrote in The Problem of Pain, "Pain insists upon being attended to. God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. It is His megaphone to rouse a deaf world." Your toxic family environment may feel like a battleground, but in that very place, God is speaking, whispering His plans for your future, positioning you for something beyond your current suffering. A story of transformation, Joseph's journey. Think about Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, imprisoned for a crime he never committed. His family wasn't just toxic, they outright rejected him. And yet, even in the darkest moments, Joseph never lost sight of God's plan. When he finally stood before his brothers, he declared in Genesis 50:20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." The same God who worked through Joseph is working through you. He takes the broken pieces of your past and reshapes them into something meaningful, something powerful, something that can change lives. Isaiah 48:10 echoes this truth. "See, I have refined you, though not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction." A toxic family can feel like that furnace, hot, relentless, and painful. But what does a furnace do? It burns away impurities. It strengthens what remains. It transforms something ordinary into something extraordinary. The house that God is building, this refining process, isn't just about survival, it's about transformation. C.S. Lewis explains this beautifully in Mere Christianity. Imagine yourself as a living house. God comes in to rebuild that house. At first, perhaps, you understand what He is doing, but then He starts knocking the house about in a way that hurts abominably and doesn't seem to make sense. What on earth is He up to? The explanation is that He is building quite a different house from the one you thought of. He intends to come and live in it Himself. Your pain is not pointless. It is part of the construction of something far greater than you can imagine. Jeremiah 29:11 reassures us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Your past does not define you. God's purpose for you does. Breaking generational cycles. Breaking free from generational cycles of dysfunction is no small task. It requires courage, self-awareness, and unwavering faith. But Philippians 4:13 reminds us, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." God does not call you to this battle without equipping you to win it. Consider Moses. Born into oppression, raised in Pharaoh's palace, he carried the weight of his people's suffering. God didn't randomly choose Moses to lead Israel out of Egypt. He had prepared him for it through his unique upbringing. Similarly, your toxic family has given you firsthand insight into patterns that need healing. What if the very things that have caused you pain are the same things that have equipped you to break the cycle for future generations? C.S. Lewis once said, You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. You may not have chosen the family you were born into, but you do have the power to rewrite the story. A legacy of healing and hope. Choosing forgiveness over bitterness. Choosing love over anger. Choosing faith over despair. These choices don't just change your life. They create a legacy that impacts generations to come. Even Jesus' lineage was filled with broken people, murderers, adulterers, outcasts. Yet God redeemed it all, bringing forth the Savior of the world. If He can do that, imagine what He can do through your story. So hold your head high. The furnace may have been hot, but you are emerging as gold. God's plans for you are good. His purpose will prevail. Stand firm, knowing that you are chosen, refined, and destined for greatness. You were not just born into a family. You were called to transform it. And through that transformation, you will leave behind a legacy of hope, healing, and freedom. Your pain is your purpose. As you move forward, remember this. The pain you have endured is not a setback. It is the very foundation of your purpose. Trust that God, in His infinite wisdom, placed you exactly where you needed to be. So instead of resenting your painful beginnings, embrace them, for they are shaping you into a vessel of God's glory. This version maintains the emotional weight of the original while enhancing engagement, retention, and storytelling. It's structured to keep viewers watching longer by deepening connections, adding suspense, and delivering a strong, transformative message. Would you like any additional refinements?